Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. I'm just going to show you three short clips, very short clips, and from a Senate hearing concerning, I believe it was abortion, or women's right to choose, women's rights. I'm not sure what they titled it. Doesn't matter. I want you to just look at how the Democrats and the progressives especially are digging in when it comes to abortion. No room for compromise. And it's amazing to me. This is the hill that the Democrats want to die on, as the expression goes. I'm not calling for violence, of course. I have to say that because it's YouTube. It's just an expression. The last time the Democrats were adamant, and this was the hill to die on for them, was slavery. They're this adamant that affected the whole entire country, either directly or indirectly. And we know how that turned out for them. You won't count the 600,000+ Americans that were killed, another close to 1 million disabled, losing arms and limbs, and another 500,000 plus that were mentally shattered with PTSD. Of course, they didn't have that expression back then, but their minds were shattered from the war. That was the hill the Democrats wanted to die on. And they were out of power in Washington for almost a half a century because of it. So let's these are very short clips. I'll put in my 2 cents. I'll try to keep it brief. These people are nuts. Let's listen.
One thing, Professor Bridges, you said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh.
Arrogant, but actually she gets a lot worse. Listen.
So your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic.
He gives her an open-ended question to try to explain her position. And what does she do? She calls him names and attacks him. It's like being called racist or transphobic, or this is what they do. They can't defend their position, so what they do is they go after the person that's questioning them. It's amazing to me. He gave her an open-ended question, which very rarely happens in the Senate hearing. That was very decent of him.
And it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing them.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide.
The the percentage that either have attempted suicide or contemplated suicide is 40%. Before they transitioned, it was 40%. And guess what? After transitioning, it's 40%. Maybe there's something else wrong, but maybe I'm dumb.
So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning?
Because,
so we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that?
Are you? These are Saul Alinsky's rules from radicals, I believe it's called. She's been trained very well and brainwashed very well. Like a little robot. Are you? And then she starts asking the questions. The arrogance is incredible.
Men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think men can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you?
Absolutely.
Or are they also treated like this, where
No,
they're told that they're opening up people to violence?
We have a good time in my class. You should join.
Oh, I bet.
I'll bet. Here's the thing, though. She's a professor at Berkeley. She's influencing thousands of young minds. This woman is twisted. Absolutely twisted. Now, I know at UCLA, when they go to do their exams, they use a student number rather than a name. I don't know what they do at Berkeley. That way, in class, you can be yourself and be normal, then act like Karl Marx and a progressive on your exams so you'll pass. I'm not sure what Berkeley does.
Might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot just in this exchange.
Absolutely.
Extraordinary.
You might learn a lot, implying that you're stupid. It's incredible to me. Let's listen to this genius.
Abortion is normal. It is an act of love, and it is fundamentally health care.
Now, the funny part about this is, as she's saying abortion is an act of love, sits a woman with a young infant, and she's rocking it. These people are nuts. Absolutely nuts. This is the hill the Democrats want to die on. It's just amazing to me.
And do you think a baby that is delivered alive has value?
Yes.
Why the long pause? He's trying to set me up to say the wrong thing so they'll cancel me and get all over me, and I was tricked into it. The answer is yes, immediately.
Do you think that a baby that is not yet born has value?
I believe that a person
And there she goes. She rolls her eyes, and she comes out with a robotic answer, like a little programmed robot.
with a capacity for pregnancy has value. They have intelligence. They have agency. They have
No, I'm talking about
dignity.
the baby.
And I'm talking about the person with the capacity for
And
pregnancy.
you're not answering the question. I'm asking.
I'm answering a more interesting question to me.
You think that they...
I'm answering a more interesting question to me. You're just a sitting senator, and we're at Senate hearings. I don't give a good damn. I don't give a shit what you think. I'm going to ask the questions and answer them because I find your questions boring. The entitlement and the arrogance and the narcissism is absolutely off the charts.
A baby that is not yet born, let's say the day before the mother delivers, do you think that baby has value?
I think that the person with the capacity for pregnancy has value, and they should have the ability to control what happens to their lives.
And she says the exact same thing again, like she's chanting, like they do in protests. They chant. These people are brainwashed drones. Now let's listen to Elizabeth Warren say one of the most outrageous things I've ever heard her say, and that's a pretty high bar.
Well,
In Massachusetts, right now, those crisis pregnancy centers that are there to fool people who are looking for pregnancy termination help outnumber true abortion clinics by 3 to 1. We need to shut them down.
We need to shut them down here in Massachusetts. Now, here's the funny part. If the woman goes in there and discovers this is not a place where I can arrange for an abortion, guess what? You get out of your chair and you go through the door, you go to your car, whoever gave you a ride, and you go to an abortion clinic. Can't have that. We can't give women a choice and an alternative. My body, my choice only applies when you're having an abortion. It doesn't apply anywhere else. This is the hill these morons want to die on.
Here in Massachusetts, and we need to shut them down all around the country. You should not be able to torture a pregnant person like that.
do you think...
That's torturing a pregnant person. These people are nuts. And I'll tell you the truth, there's a lot of similarities between the 1850s and right up to 1860 and today. Now, I think we're going to have the ground war? No. But the Democrats are at it again. They're at it again. Expanding the Supreme Court. Just ignoring Supreme Court and federal court rulings. Just ignoring it. Look at the state of California for the last 10 plus years, ignoring federal law. This is a dangerous path to be walking down. But again, the Democrats have this issue, abortion, as their hill to die on. And trans issues as well. They're all combined. And the last time the Democrats were dug in on an issue, they stayed out of power in Washington for almost half a century. So I applaud these morons for digging in on an issue they can't win. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.